Call the meeting to order. A moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mrs. Frank.
Mayor Kindle.
Present.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Present.
Councilwoman Foster.
Present.
Councilwoman LaPratt.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams.
Present.
Councilman Tucson.
Present.
City Manager Szymanski.
Here.
City Attorney Diwali.
Here.
Okay, that takes us, I need a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Madam Mayor, I think we're doing a presentation.
No,
Oh,
we're
we're
doing
going to do
it
the
after
minutes?
that.
Okay. Then, Madam Mayor, I will offer the motion to accept, receive, and file the minutes of the regular city council meeting held January 5th, 2026.
Support. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now have a presentation from the Economic Development Department, starting with Mr. Hinton, who's the Director of the Economic Community Development Department, and then with the Deputy Director, Ms. Irma Hayes, and then with Stephanie Pinion from the state of Michigan, has been helping us with the RRC. So first of all, start with Mr. Hinton.
A request was made that we give a report on specifically RRC and Kelly Road, but we wanted to do a little bit more comprehensive a report than that. Irma's going to make a presentation, and following that, the young lady from the state who actually runs the RRC program will bring everybody up to speed as to where we are, and some words on where we need to go and what we need to do to achieve full certification. Thank you.
Hold on, Mr. Hinton. Is there any questions of Mr. Hinton, anyone on City Council?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to thank you for doing this. So thank you for getting this together. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Ms. Hayes, Director, who put this presentation together for us.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. Tonight I want to clearly explain what the Economic and Community Development Department is responsible for and how that work connects to the 2023 Master Plan and where Harper Woods is headed. This department exists to move the city forward. Our role is to turn policy and vision into real projects, investments, and outcomes for residents. We have to think of the city as a household. We need income, a plan, and smart vision for the city. It's how the city sustains itself. The 2023 Master Plan, prepared by McKenna, is our guide. It reflects community input and focuses on reinvestment, stability, and quality of life rather than expansion. And the Master Plan, if you're not sure where it's at, you can find it on the internet if you search for masterplan2023.pdf. Our charge includes growing and stabilizing the tax base, supporting businesses, guiding redevelopment, securing grants, and investing in community spaces. Why? Because our city is fully built out. Growth for us will come from reinvestments, not expansion. We do not work in silos. Our work relies on partnerships, external funding, and coordination across city departments to maximize our impact. The master plan identifies several priority development areas, with Kelly Road and community facilities being the most critical. Kelly Road is our primary economic corridor. Current efforts focus on reinvestment, safety, and positioning the corridor for long-term improvement. Small businesses create jobs and keep money local. Retention is critical. Community facilities like the community center and parks are economic anchors. These projects are underway and will support residents and attract activity. Supporting existing businesses is foundational. Reinvestment focuses on upgrading existing buildings and protecting neighborhoods. Grants are essential. We use city dollars strategically to attract outside funding and reduce pressure on the general fund. And arts, culture, and events, they're not extras. They activate spaces, strengthen identity, and support local economic activity, because it, not only through these efforts, will help create jobs, access, and opportunity to our community. Today, we have multiple projects in progress and stronger regional partnerships than before, all aligned with the master plan. And this next slide that you're looking at is North Point. I said that right. North Point. It's the Eastland Community Center. The Eastland Commerce Center. Just to let you know, North Point is all fully leased in buildings 1 and 2, and 44,555 square feet remain to be leased out in number 3. So looking ahead, the future includes continued reinvestment, modern facilities, and a more resilient local economy. For residents, this work means jobs closer to home, better services, and a stronger sense of place. Accountability matters. Council receives regular updates, and projects are measured against the master plan. Projects like the community center and parks improvement show the plan is in action. So in closing, economic and community development is the city's growth engine. We ensure Harper Woods is not just planning for the future, but building intentionally. The master plan is a tool. We use it to deliver results. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the deputy? Yes?
Madam Mayor, I'm just curious, I know most of this information is something that we're already aware of. I'm curious about where we are in these different projects. So like what's going on Kelly Road? What's going on with the community center or with the Pocket Park? Or, you know, what can we do to help finish the lease out of North Point? Where are we on all of these projects? That's what I need to hear about.
First of all, before she even speaks, we have nothing to do with North Point. North Point is Eastland Commerce Center. They do all the leasing through them. They just inform our economic development in the city about their leases.
Right.
Give
I
us
know
an
that
idea.
some
But we can't do
communities,
anything about them.
right, but
Not
some
this
communities might outreach to different businesses, try to get them interested in the community. I didn't know if we were doing anything that was going to help
No.
them. Okay,
They have their own marketing directive.
okay,
They all do. We only get the information secondhand.
okay,
That's why we don't own Eastland Mall.
right. Okay.
Go ahead.
Fraser Square is here to speak about Fraser Square. The Dome The RFP will go out at the end of this month. We'll be looking for a general contractor. Our intention is that it'll be done by August 26. Ross Common, clearly, we're in the middle of a snowstorm, so the progress has stopped, but it should be open in the spring. Kelly Road, we're still assessing. We still have to figure out our inventory. You also have 9 properties that are vacant in the city of Harper Woods, which I have listed under your priorities. So that's the next thing we're going to battle.
Madam Mayor, this question is for either of you. I know this all ties into the RRC, and it's been a long time since we've actually heard RRC. So I know what it means, but if someone could just explain to the community what we're talking about when we talk about RRC.
She's going to speak to it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, come on up. Does anyone have any other questions about what I just presented? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. Thank you guys for having me this evening. So my name is Stephanie Peña. I am a senior community planner with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So I'm one of 5 planners that are dispersed across the state that work with the Redevelopment Ready Communities Toolkit, and I'm definitely happy to give a brief overview of that. So I personally cover Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties and have worked with the city with the current team as well as your previous predecessors. So Redevelopment Ready is a volunteer technical assistance toolkit that is deployed to work with municipalities in assisting them with modernizing and streamlining their zoning, planning, and economic development practices. All of this is done in efforts to really increase the reinvestment within communities. Typically, we try to prioritize pedestrian-oriented mixed-use developments within areas of concentrated development. So thinking about your downtowns, your priority commercial corridors, as well as neighborhood commercial nodes. So these are the areas that we very much acknowledge at the MEDC as is guided by one of our strategic focus areas to cultivate attractive places, play a key role in attracting and retaining your talent, businesses, and potential residents. So with RRC, we deploy a series of 5 best practices. This is, again, all volunteer-based. We work with communities, over 350 across the state of Michigan, with over 60% having a population about 5,000 or less. So we work to implement these best practices in the way that best suits the community. So how it is deployed in Harper Woods looks very differently than how it is deployed in East Point or even Detroit. Ultimately, the benefits to engaging in RRC vary and largely hinge upon the level of coordination within municipal departments, the level of collaboration, and how much the community is able to leverage stakeholders and external partners to sort of realize these redevelopment visions for the future. Speaking specifically to Harper Woods, we've been working closely with the city for a very long time. We intend for RRC not necessarily to be at the forefront of a lot of municipal efforts. We really try to be sort of like in the background, just guiding the initiatives, because again, we have a series of 5 best practices. These are nationally accumulated best practices that really sort of try to help communities focus, and they're sort of baseline efforts to try to get a community to think about reinvestment and redevelopment visions. So a lot of the work that we've done includes like the zoning ordinance update. That is a really huge lift. I think I was able to meet a few of you guys on that steering committee. That was finalized in 24. Prior to that, in 22, 23, we also assisted with the master plan update. So I'm really excited to say and very proud of the city of Harper Woods, because while there's been a transition in staff in recent years, very happy to continue working with Irma. It's important to know you guys are unique in the sense that oftentimes when there's huge staff turnover, RRC kind of gets lost in the wayside. But I'm very excited to share that even within the past 2 weeks, the community has increased 10 percentage points and is now at 82% alignment with RRC certified expectations. And that's because Irma and the team have been continuing to elevate and bring forward those best practices. We are at a point, though, where there's a few best practices that it is vital for the community to think about how you are pursuing process improvement, how you're streamlining your real estate development processes in order to position the community to be more business friendly, finding ways to make review processes more consistent and transparent, making resources readily available. We're at a point where those expectations, it would really be beneficial to get total buy-in across a variety of different departments. So we've been in communication with the mayor, Mr. Hinton and Irma, as we're trying to navigate the last 4 best practices in order to get the community RRC certified. But I'm really hopeful that that is going to come in the near future. I don't want to belabor it too much, but I did have a couple more things that I wanted to share. I did want to also highlight I get to work with around 65 communities within the Metro Detroit area, and I see a spectrum of different communities. And this week it's been an interesting experience where I've been working with communities that don't quite understand the realities that economic development, community and economic development, and upward economic mobility for all of its residents and reinvestment efforts don't just rely on focusing on one sector of your economy, such as industry. And I was really excited to see, and as serving as the planner, it's always wonderful to be an aid to the community and provide that additional capacity where I can. So to see that the community has been increasing its placemaking efforts, its public gathering efforts with the summer events, this is an aspect that is very important for increasing community pride and really garnering and empowering your residents to want to stay in your community, to want to reinvest in your community. So I'm really excited that you guys are moving forward with some of these other opportunities within Mr. Hinton and Irma's department. I think that that is going to continue keeping young people in your community and will continue to attract more people to your community, which is what is needed when you have a largely residential community. I also think, and I'm really hoping that building off of the presentation that Irma gave in tying back to the master plan goals and objectives, you guys have an amazing master plan that was done back in 2023, an amazing zoning ordinance that was just done this past year. It is so crucial that you guys continue to evaluate and track the progress of its implementation, because you wouldn't want to allow those documents to get so far down the road that they become out of date and you would have to pay more money to reinvest in updating those plans. So there's a table in that slide that I saw where Irma outlined the current status of a variety of different projects that are tied directly to the priority redevelopment sites that were outlined in the master plan by McKenna, as well as the team. It would be a great recommendation of mine that you guys revisit that. Some communities do it on a quarterly basis. At minimum, we encourage you guys to do it on a yearly basis. So it's something that we can have more conversation about. But Kelly Road is a fabulous corridor that every time I come to visit Harper Woods, is consistently active. You guys are one of the few communities that have retained a CVS pharmacy, that many communities are losing those left and right. So very excited to continue working with you guys. Excited that Renovare has invested in your community, another amazing, amazing win that many communities are vying for. So you guys got that done. So I'm here to answer any additional questions, but RRC remains in the background and we do try to stay silent, but we're here to just buttress and support your guys' alignment with the best practices as well as the statewide planning and zoning statutes.
Thank you. Is there any questions?
Yes. Go ahead.
Please.
Yes.
First of all, I gotta give an applause right now. The 82%, that is a very significant accomplishment. And it's happened mostly since, since Mrs. Hayes has been aboard and working with Ty and McKenna. Thanks again, Irma, for getting us this far, because it hadn't moved in years. So far, and working with you, it seems to work just fantastic. So good to hear that.
No, the team has been commendable. I'm just here to support, and it's truly been them that lead the effort. And you actually remind me, I did want to mention, because I know sometimes communities are like, oh my goodness, it's taken forever. We recently pulled data that it takes on average 5 to 7 years for a community to get designated. You guys are on track. This stuff is hard, and in order for it to work the best way possible, to actually see tangible change, to attract more reinvestment, like you have to take the time to really get full buy-in, to collaborate, and to think about how do we best position ourselves for this reinvestment. So you guys are doing a wonderful job.
I was just going to ask how far along we are and how far we have to go. So I think you've given us a good idea of the fact that we've come along. And I know in the past we had gatherings where, council was able to hear a little bit more about what we needed specifically to focus on. We haven't had those in a while. Is that something that we need to get involved in some more? Or is that something that right now is just like beyond the council?
It's up to you guys. I actually, Mayor and Ty and Irma were actually just chatting with the last remaining best practices. There might be a benefit to have a cross-departmental meeting based on city manager's opinion, but that's something that we're always open to, and you're always free to reach out to your department or also me, and we can provide resources. So any level of input that you guys need, we're definitely here to support.
All right, thank you.
Madam Mayor, I have one more question.
Okay, first, is anyone on this side? No one? Okay.
Just for the sake of the audience there, by becoming 100%, what are the benefits this going to bring to our community?
Yeah. So more just sort of like speaking strictly about sort of like the technical assistance and funding opportunities. So the city has taken advantage of technical assistance funding opportunities. So we've provided the community with $40,000 over the past 4 years to pursue planning and zoning updates. Going forward, once you reach designation, you'll get access to $50,000 over a 5-year period, which, if you're not familiar, we're the only state department that provides funding in this realm. You also get access to our specialized redevelopment service team. This is a team comprised of real estate experts that work with the community on a priority redevelopment site. So they work with catalyzing that, and they have pre-development technical assistance dollars to help with that. And then you also have the opportunity to apply to our Match on Main funding opportunity, which used to live it now lives under our small business team at MEDC, and those are technical assistance dollars for any small business within your downtown commercial corridor, Main Street neighborhood commercial node, to help either scale up their business, expand, buy product, things. It's one of our more popular funding opportunities, and you definitely see it announced on an annual basis. So that application is opening up for our certified communities in March. I imagine in the future Harper Woods would be able to partake in that. I should also mention, beyond sort of like the technical benefits, there's also the aspect of you guys are really positioning yourselves. I think Renovare could probably speak to this as developers, but there are developers that look for communities that are redevelopment ready certified, because it truly does signal that you've done the work to try to reduce the time it takes to get a project reviewed, because as you guys know, any additional time it takes to review a project costs the developer time, makes it very unlikely that they can proceed with their project, and ultimately impacts the amount of developers that even want to come into your community. More so, RRC helps you think about cultivating those ecosystems of entrepreneurial support for small businesses and real estate developers, because ultimately the individuals that are most likely going to develop in your community are in your community already. How do you help that small business owner expand their barbershop? Or how do you help the individual that's making plates out of their kitchen go into a food truck or into a storefront? So there's these things that engagement in RRC, and through trainings that we offer, and through other exciting opportunities, we can help provide those fresh ideas, and that will continue to persist throughout the time.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Thank you so very much, Stephanie.
Yes, have a good
drive
evening.
back to Lansing. Okay. We also have Fraser Square here. Shannon or Debbie, which one of you want to bring us up to date? Don't everybody run at one time.
Good evening, Mayor Condell and Council. Thank you for having us this evening. I'm Shannon Morgan with Renovare Development, and I have Jack Flynn with us, our partner at Robertson Brothers. First of all, I want to stop and thank you guys, or recognize your accomplishments in RRC. I happen to be a 12-year advisory council member, and it's a big feat. So as a developer, kudos to you on your good work, and what a great presentation you guys did. We're always excited to see that type of progress. I think think obviously we're on the agenda later today just to dedicate the roads moving forward, but just for updates, we're progressing nicely. I think Jack can give you some more information with our first units coming online in March. Also, just so everyone knows, we do have a model that is open. Please send everyone there. It is open Monday through Sunday. We're appointment only on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but that is open right now. And construction is progressing nicely. We're here today and we'll be later on the agenda, as I said, to dedicate the roads and the park moving forward. Our sales managers here, we're always here to open up questions moving forward. But sales have taken place. We've hosted multiple public sessions moving forward, and we're continuing to progress on schedule on construction for delivery. So we're really excited.
Unless they have any questions.
Any questions?
Of course, I have a question.
Of course. No problem.
Right now, what are you looking at in terms of the number of houses that have already been sold? Or do you have that information? Just curious.
We're still moving forward right now because so right now we're bringing in a plethora of down payment assistance programs. We have numerous homes under contract moving forward, as I said, with the first deliveries in March, but we're allowing some flexibility because we're working with a lot of folks we're bringing in a lot of new mortgage products. We also brought in some new tools. We're working with a nonprofit called Oakland Housing that offers down payment assistance for folks. So before we release those numbers, because we're working with people in those programs moving forward, I can tell you that we've been successful and we have multiple units under purchase agreement right now. And we also have multiple folks that we're working with through credit repair programs that will have access to tools moving forward in the next phase moving forward. So we have several hundred people on our wait list that we've worked through, just so you know, and we're working through those programs. And as we move forward to purchase agreement and work through that, we'll disclose that information. But everything is progressing according to our current schedules. Construction is doing really well. I'm sure you guys see. We're getting regular calls. We were very thankful for the great article that you published in the newspaper moving forward, and we're working through those. So we just encourage you to, we've got our sales manager, Deborah Anderson, here. Anyone in the community that's interested in purchasing, anyone that's interested in getting information, or just really if they want to work through some credit repair and down payment assistance, that's what we're here to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other questions? Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right, so now we'll move to public comments on agenda items only.
Hi, everyone. Lori Sheridan. I live on Country Club. And I just wanted to comment, ask a question about the quit deed and the responsibility that is going to be the city's as far as maintenance for the Fraser Square and the road that's coming in. So I know you're going to talk about this as part of the agenda. I'm just curious as to what the city's overall responsibility is compared to the HOA. So thank you if you could address that.
Is there anyone else with a comment on agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move on to, I need a resolution for the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to file and record agenda items 1 through 8.
Support.
Okay, any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
we normally do announce the appointment, and I'm just searching for that announcement right now. So I forgot to put page numbers on my agenda.
Yeah, I'm sorry, too.
So let me see if I can scroll quickly enough.
It would be Susan Hamel.
Okay. reappointed to, is she being
Who's
reappointed?
that?
To the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay.
Susan Hamill.
Oh, I've got it here. All right, so she's currently on the Board of Zoning Appeals, and she is being reinstated for, is that a 4-year term, or is that
That's a 5-year term.
a 5-year term? All right, thank
I
you.
believe so.
Okay. Are there any other questions or any discussion?
Is she here tonight?
Roll call vote, Mrs. Franks?
Councilwoman Costantino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki,
Yes,
Councilman Toussaint,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle,
Yes.
resolution passes.
Okay, that takes us to old business. We have none. New business, city manager's report.
Okay, new business item number 1, acceptance of quitclaim deed, Fraser Square. Mayor and council, attached is a memorandum from the Economic and Community Development Director requesting the acceptance of parcels for dedication in conjunction with the Fraser Square development. The parcels specifically being dedicated to the city via quitclaim deed are for the purpose of creating a roadway and creating a detention pond and play area for the new development, each being transferred for $1. As his memo states, each of these spaces will be publicly owned and maintained by the city. I have included a map of the area and also copies of the quitclaim deeds for each parcel for your review. It is my recommendation that the city accept these parcels. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
by resolution to adopt the attached resolution hereby accepting conveyance of the 2 parcels of real property by quitclaim deed from Renovary Robertson Harperwoods LLC for the consideration of $1 for each parcel. And further to authorize the mayor and/or city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to accept such conveyance on behalf of the city of Harper Woods. And upon recordation, said property shall become property of the city to be held and used for municipal purposes as permitted by law.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I have a few questions. Are we taking into consideration the liability insurance for the detention pond? Because what if a kid gets in there and drowns or gets hurt?
Okay, the detention pond is probably going to be less of a level than you see at Salter Park, okay, by the, I want to say by the walkway. It's not significant. It's a place for catching rain. It's not really even going to hold water. Basically what's going to happen, it'll rain, the grass will absorb it, and I want to say it'll be on a slope, and we don't envision any kind of problem with that whatsoever. We have bigger dips. Chris can testify in Johnson Park that are bigger than the detention pond, and Salter Park, and even on the side of the building over here. We have a slope that goes into City Hall. You're free to take a look at it. We don't have any problems with water or anybody slipping in there.
there's no water.
Okay, Madam Mayor, what about the upkeep and the repairs of the detention pond? We don't take care of it right now. Don't we have to clean them and make repairs if the ground moves?
Cutting grass is basically what it comes down to.
Madam,
Yes.
two things. First of all, I know that when Danbury Lane was put in, the park that it's the end of Danbury Lane was something that the city received from the builder. I was not on council at the time. No, I'm sorry. However, I know that it's not tremendously uncommon for a builder to do this with a new development. I do have a question, however. On the drawing that we have of the extension of Lennon that's going to meet up with Van Antwerp called Fraser Avenue, That appeared on the original plan. But there's also another roadway that's not shown on this drawing, and it's important, in my opinion, because it provides a second exit from the development, but that doesn't appear on the sketch of the survey. If you look at the material that we were handed earlier today by our Economic and Community Development Department, you'll notice that that little roadway exists. It's just east of Dupre, and it serves as a secondary exit to the development. I'm curious, is that something that the city is not going to need to take care of because it's within the boundaries of the development, or is that something that the city will also be dealing with? I presume that will be snow plowing and that sort of thing on this, roadway. I'm just curious, and perhaps the people that are, Fraser Square people might be able to illuminate that particular roadway.
The roadway that it's being dedicated will probably have more traffic flow because it's Lennon, because it is an extension of Lennon. It is much more traffic and that sort of thing as a regular street. The other streets are just streets that service the residents who are living at those particular places. And there is going to be a homeowner association. There's going to be some thing that they're going to have to do for grass cutting, for all of those kinds of services. I can't imagine the new streets having any maintenance issues, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Long term, it's the homeowner association that is responsible for that internal roadway.
Okay, and so I presume that that little kind of almost like an alleyway, I would assume, maybe a one-way or something,
Right.
that'll be a HOA responsibility? Right. Okay, thank you very much.
I just want to point out that that the play equipment has already been installed over there, so that's, the city didn't pay for that, correct? The Renovair or Robertson paid for that? Because it's already there, it looks really nice. And that I do want to, that this is a detention pond. What we have around Eastland are called retention ponds. They hold water. Detention means it gets rid of water, and they are all over. They're at Johnson, they're at Gaspar, at Salter. They're just low areas where water goes, it doesn't even stay on the ground. But the playground was very nice. I think that's a great for that neighborhood. So I was impressed by that. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I was looking at the, I guess the map or the drawing. So Lennon Street still will go from Harper, Lennon Street's still going to continue all the way through from Harper all the way through to Dupre. And then the Fraser Avenue connects to Lennon, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. So the little part that Councilwoman Sawicki was talking about, I wasn't quite sure where that is on the map.
She's talking here behind these. It's part of the development.
Okay.
This is the street we're talking about.
It's in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's, okay. Right.
Okay, and I have another question. What is a HOA's fees going to be paying for? I thought it was cutting the grasses.
Well, there-
Homeowners Association.
Right, then they pay a fee. So I thought that park was going to be paid for, the maintenance of the park was going to be paid by HOA fees.
We're discussing where the director, okay, of DPW and I and the engineers were discussing as to how garbage collection is going to occur there and maintenance of some, okay, of the parcels and not. So we're not exactly there yet, but none of this is anything that's going to break the city's back in terms of finances.
Are there any other, yes.
Okay, I just want to clarify. We have 2 parcels, total of a little over 6 acres, that we're buying for $2, $1 a parcel, and that there will be a park there that will be available to the public. Our residents will be able to use, and we will be able to purchase this for $2. I just want to confirm that's my
Pretty
complete
much the same
understanding
way
of
as
the
Danbury
situation.
Lane.
But we have to also maintain it, right?
Right.
Yeah, like we do Danbury Park.
Right.
Right.
It's not a regional park, like in the sense Johnson or Salter.
Right.
But Dansbury would be a pretty close.
It's like the Danbury
Yeah,
Park.
Danbury,
So
private
like a
park.
local park,
Yes,
but you could go there if you wanted to, a neighborhood park.
certainly.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I had a clear picture of this.
Are there any further questions? Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes?
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 2, progress payment number 3, 2025, storm sewer repairs number 180-362. Mayor and council, attached is a letter from our city engineers transmitting progress payment number 3 on the 2025 storm sewer repair project number 180-362. It is recommended that this payment be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Make the resolution to approve payment to Great Lakes Contracting Solutions LLC in the amount of $123,709.43 for progress payment number 3 on the 2025 storm sewer repair project number 180-362.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki.
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Kindle.
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 3, progress payment TAP grant side grant. Mayor and council, attached is an invoice that represents the city's portion of the TAP grant sidewalk program. This grant money was used for the removal and replacement of sidewalks throughout the city and within the city right-of-way that were damaged or heaved due to tree roots and created a trip hazard for residents and businesses. While all of the cement work has been finished, a considerable amount of cleanup did not occur as of yet, and the city is hoping this will be remedied in the upcoming spring session. It is recommended that this invoice be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Make the resolution to approve the payment to the Michigan Department of Transportation in the amount of $36,035.29 for the city's proportionate share of the TAP grant sidewalk program.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but is this the program that caused us such grief over the summer with piles of dirt being left on the sidewalks? And our own DPW had to get out there and start moving some of that dirt?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a problem with incomplete work and are paying it. And I do understand it's going to the Department of Transportation, but did we withhold the amount of money that our DPW cost to go out there and pay, and do the work that these people are supposed to be doing? And secondly, why should we pay them anything until this work is completed?
Okay, for one, the invoice in front of you represents the state of Michigan's share, okay, that we have to pay because this was federal money that has come to us. I want to say that the work that has not been finished, if it's not finished by early this spring, then we will be hiring a contractor from the money that we did not pay, Santos, which was the contractor that we were given by the state of Michigan to perform this work. So they have not been paid anything, and all of those items that you mentioned will be netted out when it comes time to settling up on the final invoices. They have not been paid a penny yet.
And that's our responsibility? That part of it is our responsibility?
This right here is our responsibility for getting the grant right here. So whether we used 1/2 of it, 100%, or 75%, we still owe the $36,000 here. That doesn't represent anything that goes to Santos.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Are there any further? Yes.
How much?
Wait, hold on.
Heather wants to make a few comments.
Just a quick one. I share your concern too. On January 7th, Ryan from AEW, myself, Santos, and MDOT did a ride-along and went through all the sidewalks, making note of locations that still needed cleaning, that we weren't satisfied with, and that becomes a punch list. At that point in time, it's turned over to both MDOT and Santos. In the spring, they will go through and correct those deficiencies before they close out the project.
Okay. Bravo.
Thank you, Heather.
Are there any further discussion?
Well, I just wanted to know how much was being withheld from Santos at this time.
We haven't paid them anything.
But
for this
how
work.
do we have?
I couldn't tell you that
couldn't
off the
tell
top of
us?
my
Okay.
head. Yeah, I could get the answer for you, but not off the top of my head right now.
Even like a ballpark?
I would
No
have to
ballpark?
go through our,
Okay.
records.
All right. We'll await that number for the next meeting, hopefully.
Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Frank.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki,
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Kindle,
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 4, City Insight Water App Technology Agreement. Mayor and Council, as stated in the attached memorandum from the City Treasurer, this service agreement is for additional and sensible enhancements that provide for updated security, enhanced portal interface, online refund capability, and a big enhancement regarding the addition of an ACH option that caps out at an $8 fee maximum. The city believes more people will use the water app to pay their property taxes now that the rate is reduced, and the city will receive their tax collections earlier. An example of the old way and the new way of paying property taxes by the app is as follows. A typical winter tax bill in the city is $3,500. Under the old method, it would be $3,500 tax bill times 3% would come out to a $105 fee. The new way, ACH way, is the same $3,500 tax bill can now be paid for an $8 fee. Our residents and businesses would save $97 on the same transaction. It is my recommendation that this agreement be approved. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor? Make the resolution to approve the proposal submitted by City Insight for the water app enhancements as outlined in the amount of $13,600 and to further authorize the city manager to sign the agreement.
Support.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor? I know a few years ago, when we were getting involved in online transactions like this, we had 2 different methods that our residents could use, and I think it was with water bill, I could be wrong, but one was a minor fee, and the other one I thought was free. So I'm just curious as to whether we still have 2 different methods of payment, other than people walking in, obviously, which, you know.
Yeah, we have several. Kim, if you'd like to elaborate.
So with the City Insight app, the utility bills will still be free, no extra charge with the credit card or debit card. But some people like to use the auto pay through their bank account. the max fee will be $8. So they can pay their taxes. We have some people that pay with a credit card. The fee is 3% right now. So we're just trying to reduce. This is just a new option for people to pay. We just added Apple Pay. So
Okay, but they could still pay free through a debit card?
it's only for the water bill.
Oh, okay.
Water
But the
bill
tax-
and using a credit card, there's no additional fee. But if you use your auto debit, there will be a slight fee.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Kim, can you let the council and residents know just approximately how many people use the water app?
We're close to probably 3,500 right at the moment that are registered. That doesn't count the guest pays.
Cool.
Yeah, we have quite a few.
Thank you. All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilman Toussaint?
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Kindle? Yes. Councilwoman Costantino?
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster?
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki?
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
Okay, new business item number 5, Michigan Municipal League Capital Conference. Mayor and Council, we have received the attached notice of the League's annual legislative conference to be held March 10th through 11th, 2026 in Lansing. It is customary for the City Council to authorize attendance by interested members. The mayor has shown interest in attending, and if there are others who wish to attend, please let my office know as soon as possible so that we can register you. Mayor, a resolution is recommended.
Madam Mayor, by resolution to authorize those council members interested to attend the Michigan Municipal League's annual legislative conference, March 10th through 11th, 2026, in Lansing, Michigan, with the city paying all necessary and related expenses.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mrs. Frank.
Councilwoman Williams?
Yes?
Mayor Kindle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Costantino?
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster?
Yes.
Councilwoman LaPrat?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sawicki?
Yes.
Councilman Toussaint?
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes.
And that concludes the city manager's reports.
Okay, that takes us to call the audience. You can step up to the mic and identify yourself and give 3 minutes of conversation.
Hi, Kristen Olin Sullivan, Country Club Drive. I have 2 things. I was hoping that a copy of the PowerPoint presentation that Ms. Hayes presented, is that on the website also? Because it's difficult to see it from the audience. It would be nice if that
We
could be
can
put
get you
on.
a copy.
Oh, that would be great too. Thank you.
You can have mine right here.
Thank you.
And if
I'm wondering.
anybody else wants one, they can have mine.
I'm wondering what can be done about automotive carcasses left in alleys. For several months, there's been a car carcass, and I call it a carcass because, and I've looked for the chief tonight, I can't find him, and we've also reported it multiple times, and it's still there. There's no interior, there's no hood, there's no motor, there's no wheels, but it's just been sitting there for several months, and it's kind of an eyesore. And I recall a time when you could get a ticket for having peeling paint on your garage. So this could be handled like that, I think.
Where is it at?
In the alley between Country Club and Lancaster. Thanks.
Okay, Greg Bargo, Woodland. I have a few additional comments in the interest of public safety related to the January 5th council meeting, which dealt with the agreement between the City of Harper Woods and the I Heart Dogs Animal Haven, citing, once again, stipulation 2, that the city enforces state and local animal ordinances, which include picking up or collecting stray or neglected animals. To gather additional information, I had a brief conversation with Pollyann McKillop. She's the program manager, Animal Shelter, Kennel, kennel ACO programs for the state of Michigan, Department of Agriculture and Rural Development Animal Industry Division. To begin, she cited one specific item. Michigan Animal Control Law, known as the Dog Law of 1919, provides that a city or township, by action of its governing body, may adopt an animal control ordinance to regulate the licensing, payment of claims, and providing the enforcement thereof, of which, she stated, individual municipalities have flexibility as to its interpretation. I asked, given Harper Woods Public Safety is tasked with picking up or collecting stray or neglected animals with its agreement with iHeart, is there wisdom in allowing residents to pick up and transport a stray animal directly to iHeart or take him to the Public Safety Department? Her reply, if during the process of picking up and transporting the stray animal becomes aggressive, attacks, bites, and causes extreme bodily harm to the resident, what can and has come into play is the MCL Act 426 of 1988, Dangerous Animals, which identifies the animal to be dangerous and attempts to identify ownership of the animal along with the liability costs related to the attack. If no owner can be determined, it has been shown that the ultimate liability can be placed upon the municipality where the attack has taken place. So in other words, it's not a good idea to allow a resident to pick this up. Summarily, I asked, does the municipality's public safety officers, because of the agreement with iHeart, require animal control officer training? Her reply, by nature that they are trained public safety officers, no. She said, however, as a side note, she mentioned the incident that occurred in St. Clair County, Michigan, in December of last year, where sheriff deputies, rather than specialized animal control officers, shot and killed a stray dog. The location was the St. Clair County Animal Control Facility in Port Huron Township. December 13th, the dog was brought to the facility by a family that found it. Deputies claimed the dog was aggressive and bit one deputy, after which the deputies used a catch pole to restrain it before shooting it behind the building. This brought up much controversy, animal advocates. So the bottom line is we have animal control. Let's get our officers trained.
Thank you very much.
Okay, in regards to the animal control, we need, I'm not going to repeat, he had just said it, but it was mentioned at the city council that it's only going to cost $1,000. Okay, so to train an animal control officer, that was brought to the attention. So why take a police officer off the regular duty to get an animal and transfer it to another city, which at this moment at this time is Warren? We already have a shelter in Harper Woods. We need police. What we need is police to protect the residents and attend to emergencies, not transfer dogs. And then by the time it takes to capture the animal, do the paperwork, it's going to take a minimum of 1 hour or possibly more, depending on the situation, to transfer the dog. And there's also animals that are abandoned at GPAS, which is Harper Woods. So the police will be responsible, or animal control, for picking up the dog at GPAS, which this doesn't make any sense. And the shelters aren't responsible to pick up animals. And then a concern is the current shelter does not have a direct line. We called, there's no direct line to get a hold of anybody. Okay, and then we have, in the agreement, it says $500 to get a dog back? To give a dog back to the owner? That doesn't make sense. Who has that kind of money today? $500 to pick up the dog. Plus, if you don't have a number to call, how can you go and claim your dog? And then not every officer is going to know where the dog is, because we got different shifts that each officer's on. Okay, and then a person that gets injured, well, that was already brought up, legal things. And so overall, this animal control issue does not make any sense. For the police, for the residents, to me, it doesn't make sense at all. and I'm sure to other people too. And one thing to always keep in mind, since I was a child, was you can have the highest IQ, but nothing is going to replace common sense. And this whole animal control, it's not common sense, the way it's set up.
Good evening, City Council. John Shinburn, Roscommon, 19159. Some of what I was going to say tonight, people have already left. The community development is great. I love it. But why aren't we getting grants for our seniors that are having problems staying in their houses and fixing them up, rather than to have them end up selling them to a company that's going to make them a rental, and then we get a lot of bad actors from anywhere, mostly from Detroit. That brings me to New Year's Eve. Mayor, welcome to your city. It's turned into Detroit. I have friends that live in Detroit, and they were quiet as can be. But I had a neighbor empty 4 clips, 10 rounds. That wasn't the only one going off New Year's Eve. That never happened. We have bad actors moving here because we got rentals. I'm fed up with it. The other thing for snow and lawn, instead of having your whatever it is festival, $10,000, why not hire someone part-time to work with Heather to go around and tag lawns and snow? I have a corner house of Roscommon, 19103, 19111. Haven't done the snow since the last big one. This is getting to be ridiculous because the people are walking in the street, which makes it even more dangerous for the drivers. This is beginning to be ridiculous. And then we have houses that are empty. I've called the city. I had a couple of them. We need to put something in place. If someone reports it that it's empty and it's not being used, and I've been told this address, 191111 Roscommon, the guy says he's there part-time. He ain't. We need to be checking to see if they've got utility bills. There's no heat in the place. It's been empty for almost 10 years now. But the city said, the guy says he's part-time, so he's using the tax break.
Thank you. All right, this takes us to City Council. We'll start with Councilwoman Constantino.
Hello, good evening. I am impressed with our economic development and how well they're working with the community and the council and everybody, setting goals and achieving them. There were years where we felt stagnant, and now we've got so much going on, so I'm excited about that. Kind of at record speed, some of these things are going. One of the concerns I've had, some residents who live near Kelly Road, especially with some of the things that have happened recently, are complaining that people who are coming to these halls on Kelly Road are parking in their front yard or parking in their, blocking their driveways. They're parking all down the streets. And we have longtime residents who are now just suddenly experiencing these problems since we've had these halls open up. And I'm wondering if it wouldn't be unreasonable for us to have some kind of ordinance meeting and establish a minimum number of parking spaces, like they do in many other cities, that these halls are required to have to operate. Because if we have more than one hall, not too far apart from each other, and both of the halls are full at the same time, where are all these people parking? And they don't have the required number of parking spaces for people to park in. So they're just parking any old place. And when it turns out to be blocking people's driveways so they can't get out, or you know, even in their lawn or whatever at times, this is getting to be a problem. We need to examine the situation and have a requirement on the minimum number of parking places. So if they want to be a hall in operation, they're going to have to buy some vacant property or whatever within a certain number of feet, what we determine, and they're going to have to create a parking lot. And then that way, that relieves all of this chaos on our residents. They're throwing garbage on their lawns. So, and a lot of this stuff never came before the council. So I would really strongly encourage that we have an ordinance meeting to discuss this and to sort this out. And then also, now that we're in a new year, I'd like to, I know we lowered our property tax levy a bit this past year, but I'd like to explore some more ways that we can decrease our property taxes for our residents. You know, just because we lowered it once or twice doesn't mean we shouldn't keep looking for ways to save money and to lower their property taxes. Now that we have all this business going on, we should be able to consider some more ways to do that.
Mr. Toussaint?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year to you. On Monday was Martin Luther King's birthday, and I hope all of us took the time to celebrate his birthday and for all the many accomplishments he made for progress in America for everybody, not just black people, and improve the attitude and behavior of everybody. So I hope everybody did recognize him in some form or fashion on Monday. I did.
Good program, I understand. Happy New Year. There are a few programs that are taking place at the library that I did want to encourage people to get involved with. You know, so checking out the library programs on the website is wonderful. There are some family game nights coming up, some craft nights coming up. There's a special program on the Tuskegee Airmen coming up in February. And I think it's really behooves us to get involved with some of these programs to keep that going, because I know that they've had nice turnouts for that. And I know I take my grandson in for their story time on Thursdays, and we've been seeing more and more little kids coming to that with their parents, and it's wonderful to see our library so active and so welcoming, and just the programs that are going on there. I did want to also echo what Ms. Costantino had said about the issue with the halls on Kelly. I know that they provide, you know, an opportunity for family gatherings and this sort of thing, but when we were doing the zoning ordinance, I know that that was an issue that was brought up at that time, and I was under the impression that that our zoning would help to alleviate some of the problems that we're seeing with the halls, but I think really more needs to be done. And also I'm looking forward to hearing more about what we can do along the Kelly corridor. I know that with the new dispensary up there, we've been seeing some good you know, good things going on Kelly, but I would like to see that corridor develop a lot more so that it is more user-friendly, if you will, something that, you know, could become more of a point of pride for our community. And And so I do look forward to hearing more about what's going on in that corridor from our Economic and Community Development Department.
I don't have much tonight. I know it's really cold out and that if people are looking for somewhere to get warm, the Harper Woods Library, the Grosse Pointe Libraries, and the Helm are all warming centers. They're obviously not 24 hours, but through the city of Detroit, you can find some 24-hour centers. But if you're cold, please reach out to the city and we'll make sure that you can find somewhere to stay warm.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to everybody. I've got a couple of things on my list. One, I was very pleased to hear about the IRC coming along. That 82% is very good. I know we've been working on it for a couple of years, and so it's good to see that we are progressing in a positive fashion. Also wanted to talk about Monday was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and a lot of people do a lot of service to their communities for it. But we should also remember what Dr. Martin Luther King did for the civil rights. I know when I teach my students, a lot of times, because they're young, you know, they don't really realize what happened in the civil rights. So, you know, I hope people keep that in mind, what Dr. Martin Luther King did for civil rights. And along that same line, this is Black History Month. So I know Ms. Sawicki mentioned some of the things that was going on at the library. And there are many things going on within our community. I'm sure the high schools or the schools have some different things going on. And then you can also go outside of our community, like the Wright Museum. And there's just a lot of things that's going on. I know the Wright Museum had a chair that Dr. King sat in, and they had it on display during Martin Luther King Day. And there was, you know, lots of activities going on for Black History Month, so I hope everyone do get a chance to partake of some of those activities. Two more things. I know in the past we talked about our garbage removal group, the company that's doing our garbage removal, and I couldn't remember when the contract expired. I know we're going to eventually get that. Year. Okay. Because I want to keep that in mind because there were some things we were discussing or thinking about changing, you know, when that contract came up. So it was in my mind that, you know, I should be coming up pretty soon. And lastly, I think it's easy to blame nearby communities for some of the issues that we see in Harper Woods. I do want to remind everyone that we are surrounded by, I think, 5 Grosse Pointes, St. Clair Shores, East Point, and to blame one city for any negative things that happens in our city is, I don't know, it's not just one city that you could blame for everything. We are surrounded by many cities, and to keep that in mind, okay?
All right, I don't know, not too much. I was just kind of hoping that I Heart Dogs would be here to answer some of the residents' questions, because I've been approached quite a few times about, do they have a Facebook page? Do they have programs that help the residents with the fees? And I can't answer those. So I was kind of hoping they'd be here. Secondly, I went to the... Nope, that's it. That's all I have.
Well, I participated in the Martin Luther King celebration at Fox Theater with Reverend Jesse Jackson, who has been doing this for 49 years, and next year will be the 50th, but because of ill health and the cold, they chose not to bring him this last Monday. But it was 5 different community leaders that were honored. And it was just good to hear the things that that Dr. King stood for. And if we just don't take one thing away, is that love can only remove hate. Light can always take away darkness. And if we do not do those things for our community, the one thing that he stood for was to serve. And that was to serve our community. So we may have a whole different view about things. As Councilwoman Williams said, there are a lot of people who move into our community. That does not necessarily mean they're from Detroit when you go to the negative about it. Everybody brings different elements to our community. It is up to us, by examples, to keep our positiveness going. When we go to the negative, then we allow the negative influence to influence our community. So let's try to stay on the positive. If you have a problem with a neighbor or whatnot, let's try to be more positive about it and still, instead of negatively reflecting where they may or may not have come from. We are on a roll of doing a lot of positive things for our community. Let's keep it going. Let's keep being positive about what we're doing. You all have questions about the way we have done with the animal control. The animal control was not in our control. We did the best that we could do. So we may not be to your satisfaction, but it is what we were able to iron out to get some kind of animal control. We didn't ask to be put in this position, we were put in this position. So therefore we have done the best that we could do with addressing animal control in the city of Harper Woods, and we're not through. We're still going to be trying to find an ordinance and animal control person in unison. So that's something we're working on because we know that it is important. And we would like to have something in place before the spring, before the dogs get in heat and they be really running around like crazy. But we are working. We didn't ask for this, but we're doing the best that we can with the cards we were dealt. So, with saying that, Mr. Toussaint?
I move that I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting this evening.
Support.
Was that better, Tom?
Well, we have to vote
Was
on
that
it.
better, Tom Jennings?
Yeah, nobody can do it like Tom.
I know.